Cody Johnson and Jordan Graham were a beautiful, happy couple. They waited impatiently for their wedding and wanted a large family, many children. They got married on June 29, 2013. They vowed to love and care for each other until death do them part. But no one could have imagined that their pair would break up so quickly. Cody disappeared mysteriously 8 days after the wedding. Kalispell, Montana. This is a small provincial town. Nearby is a national park in the very center of the Rocky Mountains. It was here that a terrible tragedy occurred. Jordan was a good girl, and Cody was a good, caring boy. He had a very kind heart. Cody and Jordan met at a church dinner. Cody was 24 years old at the time, and Jordan 21. Cody immediately told his mother that he wanted to propose to Jordan. He was insanely in love with her. Jordan was very quiet, shy, and very religious. She did not want to enter into intimate relationship until marriage. Jordan made Cody go to church with her, which he had never done before. The relatives even thought that it was good. Their relationship was one-sided. Cody put everything into these relationships. He loved Jordan very much, but she did not. They never held hands in public and did not pay attention to each other. Everyone was surprised by this couple. Jordan was always very closed and cold to him. On the eve of the wedding, Jordan had doubts. Is it worth it for her to marry Cody? The wedding ceremony was very tense and unpleasant. Jordan was crying and not looking at the groom. She looked away, somewhere down. It was noticeable that she did not like it. The next morning, Jordan wrote a distressed message to a friend. "I don't know if all this was right. So much has happened that night that I just don't know." But she did not say specifically what happened. A week later, she wrote strange, desperate messages to a friend about the fact that she does not want a relationship with her husband and every time invents something. And problems with Cody grew. But suddenly, Cody disappeared 8 days after the wedding. On the eve, the couple had a fight. Distressed, they decided to go on a hike in Glacier National Park in the Flathead District. On July 8, 2013, several people reported Cody's disappearance to the Kalispell Police Department when he did not come to work, but not Jordan. She did not contact the police, and this alarmed the police. In the course of the next few days, she continued to communicate with numerous people in the Kalispell community, often with the help of text messages about what happened to Cody. She told the police that she last saw her husband when he flew with a group of friends from Washington State, and she even sent an email from the mythical Tony in which it was said that Johnson would never return. On July 11th, Jordan Graham took the park guard to the place of his fatal fall, claiming that she knew that he was there because this area was a place that he wanted to see before death. Cody's body was found in that ravine. He fell 200 feet to his death. One was lifted from the bottom of the ravine by a special helicopter. "Very steep terrain, very dangerous, full of stones," said the park press secretary, Dennis German. Official persons report that Johnson was found face down in the water. In the days following the public announcement of his disappearance or death, no one followed. People in Kalispell began to worry. Someone started a Twitter account, "Who Killed Cody?" The police found it strange that Jordan Graham was very active on Twitter and published messages there every day. But in the period from July 2nd to 11th, she did not publish anything at all. And in the following tweets, neither her husband nor his death is mentioned. She was behaving very strangely. The investigator confirmed that the letter came from a fake account created by Graham. It said that Johnson fell while walking and the search should be stopped. This too was very strange, but the investigators quickly tested Jordan soon after she told that their feelings after the wedding cooled down. Miss Graham told the police that her husband grabbed her by the hand when they approached the top of the cliff. She turned and pushed him in self-defense. After a few days, she confessed to the investigators in lies, and in September, the prosecutor accused her of first-degree murder. After the investigation, Jordan Lynn Graham was accused of blindfolding and pushing off the cliff her 8-day husband, Cody. This statement was made after in the ravine near the body of the man was found a long black piece of fabric. When examining the fabric, traces and human hair were discovered. Miss Graham also took the keys from her husband's car and took off his engagement ring before the fight. The investigation was carried out by the joint efforts of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the National Park Service, the Kalispell Police Department, the Sheriff of the Flathead District, and the Parks of Canada. The U.S. District Judge Donald Molley insisted that the woman who repeatedly lied and changed her story about what happened never repented for the murder and did not show any remorse. She was a normal person, at least at first sight, said the judge, handing down a sentence that does not provide for the possibility of a conditional early release. But how can a normal person kill her husband 8 days after the wedding? A few days before the start of her criminal trial in December, Graham and the prosecutor reached an agreement according to which the young woman confessed to being guilty in the murder of second degree in exchange for a 30-year term. But on Tuesday, Graham cooled down and demanded a new judicial investigation, declaring that the agreement was illusory and a waste of formality after she read a note in which the prosecutor called the murder intentional and asked to sentence her to 50 years. Molley rejected her petition for a new judicial investigation and fulfilled the terms of the statement, giving her a conditional 30 years behind bars. Jordan said she decided to talk to her husband about her doubts in the marriage, but she did not know how he would relate to this. She said that the pair went down a dangerous slope under a popular place in the park called The Loop and talked on a rocky ledge hundreds of feet over a precipice. She told her new husband that she was unhappy. They argued, and at one point, by her words, he grabbed her by the hand, and she thought he was planning to take her off. She told the judge that she was angry at Johnson, frightened, pushed his hand, and then pushed him, placing one hand on his shoulder and the other on his back. "I wasn't thinking about where we were, I was just pushing," said Graham. On March 27, 2014, the court sentenced Miss Graham to 30 years and 4 months in prison, with the subsequent 5-year release under supervision and payment of $17,000 as compensation.